welcome to the Petrello Report, the weekly show where I, Mr. Petrello, sit down with a staff member from school to get the scoop on what they are doing. This week, I sat down for a conversation with Mr. Rohde.
All right, there we go. We're here today on the Petrello Report with Mr. Rohde. Mr. Rohde, how you doing today?
Oh, I'm great. It's a pleasure to be here with you, sir.
It's good to see you. I'm really excited that you got dressed up. You look very dapper for this interview today.
Thanks. I had a hard time choosing. I went with the Michael Scott look. I was playing around with Andy Bernard and Dwight from the Office.
Yeah, it looks like. Is it the full suit? Do you have pants on too, or are you just wearing like shorts or something that we can't see?
I was worried you were going to ask that question, so I made sure I wore pants too.
Oh, that's nice. That's nice. I usually don't go all the way for. These are actually like my gig pants that I wear every week that I normally wear to like my gigs playing music. I don't actually put on like suit pants when I do this, except for the one with Kate where I had the shorts on. That one was really weird.
Well, I don't want to get caught with my pants down.
That's very important. So how have you been? What have you been up to in your time at home?
Two things. Google Classroom and my 2-year-old daughter. We are home together all day on our own. It's a full-time job.
Yeah, I really don't. I said this to somebody not too long ago. I don't really envy any sort of parents right now of having to do either schoolwork with their kids if they're a little older or being home with little ones. It's nice where I'm the biggest I think trouble in my household. So
Well, I'm still the biggest trouble in my household. It's just she cries more.
she cries. So what have you been doing with your family and your daughter? Have you done anything special or interesting or
Yeah, I'll have to send you some pictures. Well, we built a playhouse. That took a couple afternoons. We also, since we lost our snow, but yet we still watch Frozen on a regular basis. I had to find a creative way to make Olaf the snowman out of a yoga ball and some other material. So we've done that a handful of times. Yeah, it's tapped into my creative side.
Well, that's nice. You getting to make what was that? You said you made like a dollhouse or something? I forgot already.
Oh no, it's a place out back
A
in the
playset.
yard.
Oh,
Took a
did you
lot,
like
a lot
was
of
it like
lot of
a thing you
screws.
you you bought or did you make it yourself?
Yeah, we bought it, had it delivered, 200-pound box, and I can't tell you how many screws and lag bolts and pieces of wood. It was a rather large kit.
Wow. That's something. Well, that was probably a good project to take on in this time.
Yeah, it was perfect timing.
Yeah. So I ask every one of my guests to give us a little kind of background information because some of the students, some of the kids might not know where you come from or what you do. So, do you have anything to share with us about you, the story, Matt Rohde? Make it into a documentary if it's
Probably not the
interesting.
most interesting guy, but born and raised in Cortland, New York. Went to college at St. John Fisher. Played basketball and baseball. Uh, Loved it. Had the best friends in the world from college. Some people make their friends in high school. Some make them in college. I was the latter. And I went back to SUNY Cortland, and that's how I ended up at Fabius. I did my student teaching at Fabius, and I've been there ever since, 18 years.
18 years, long time to
Yeah,
have the.
see the great.
Now, now you're old.
Oh, yeah.
And you first you weren't a teacher first, but you were a reporter, right? A writer.
Yep, I was a sports writer at newspaper in Rochester and an editor, and for about 2 years. Also was a quality engineer for Emory Worldwide Airlines at the same time, and I just knew they weren't for me. I knew I wanted to get back into teaching, and it worked out great.
Yeah, well, we're very lucky to have you for all these years. Now that you're old and gray.
Nice of you to say.
So I was thinking, especially yesterday, I went to the store and I was really, the first thing I did, I walked into, and there they had in Tops was the baked goods on discount. And every time I see that, I always think of you because you are, if many people know, are the biggest watcher probably of the teacher's room for snacks and whatnot. What kind of snacks have you missed the most being home, or do you still have home snacks?
My snacks at home are not as exciting. I'm better about not buying things than I am eating them when they're in front of me. And I get my steps in by going to that teacher's room, let me tell you.
Between every class, another donut.
I don't like to sit in my
donut.
office.
Do you think you've lost weight because of this? Not eating all this
Only a
snacks?
little bit. Not enough to measure, really.
I get the measuring tape out. So also, you're a pretty big sports fan. You're a PE teacher, and you're also a pretty avid golfer. But in this time, we got everything shut down. There's no sports on the TV. Probably not been able to get out golfing. Have you? What have you done? You said you've been doing stuff with your daughter. Have you put anything in to substitute for this lack of sporting entertainment?
On the entertainment side, no, not really. She and I do some stuff, but it's obviously pretty rudimentary. I have been able to golf a handful of times. It's kind of been a nice reset, actually. I realized that, in the grand scheme of things, sports aren't all that important, and it's been nice to kind of unplug from it all. And this Sunday will be the first time you get to watch a live sporting event. There's going to be a golf event on where just 4 guys are playing down in Florida. So I'm excited about that, but it's all good.
Well, that's nice to hear. It is kind of nice to get a chance to reset from your kind of normal routine and all that. I know I felt that I haven't had any gigs playing music in whenever since we stopped. That last weekend was the last one. They all got canceled. So it is like you said, it's nice to have time to explore other things, I guess.
Yeah, it's slowed down, man.
And yeah. Okay, so I got a little bit of the lightning round for you. We can do this kind of semi Family Feud style, although I have no cash to hand out afterwards. I do
That's
always.
all right. You have Steve Harvey's mustache.
That's what I was gonna say. I do always admire a man with a nice vigorous mustache, like Mr. Steve Harvey. But here we go. If you could do something else besides teaching right now, what would that be?
Oh, it would probably be broadcasting.
What do you mean, like on the TV?
Yep. Yep. Most likely sports, but I wouldn't even mind being on the news end of it at this point in life.
Ah, Mr. Rohde the newsman. I can imagine that. I'd watch that. Um, we talked about this a little. What is your favorite sport to play?
At this point in life, it is definitely golf. It used to be basketball.
Golf used to be basketball. What's 7 times 9?
49. Oh, 63, sorry.
We definitely not handing you out any money. I don't know about that one. What is your
Oh, don't worry.
what is your go-to dance move? Like you got to go to a wedding, something.
It's the Running Man.
The Running Man? Can you demonstrate that for the folks at home?
Yep. And then it's followed up with the shopping cart and the fisherman. Yeah, the Running Man. Come on, man. Everybody knows the Running Man. I'm not sure if you got this on the screen, but
That's beautiful. That's
The tie and jacket inhibit my range of motion.
I guess so. It kind of it's tough to move in it. Maybe I'm sure there'll be a lot of people watching this at home on Friday who will have to rewind to that part and be trying that in their house.
That's good exercise.
What is your I can't even read what I wrote here. I should have written it neater. What's your favorite music style? I think I have here.
I don't really have one, man. It's all about the song. I could listen to anything as long as I like the song. Lately, it's been a little bit of the older stuff, the 80s and some of the 70s, just because I'm around my brother-in-law a lot.
Cool. I like it. That's my first music class or question I've asked, and I think 4 interviews. Here's my last one. What's the best part of waking up?
It's coffee, baby.
It's in your cup. Ooh, tasty.
That's right.
This is just water, though. I have my cup every week. It's always just water.
Yeah, I've always wondered.
It's just,
You seem
yeah.
to get a little happy toward the end of your interview, so I didn't know it was in there.
Yeah, it's every week. It's just, but I don't want to have like a normal cup of water. I like to keep it fancy. I have Batman this week. So you never know.
I love
Well,
it.
thank you so much, Mr. Rohde, here for being on the Petrello Report today.
My pleasure. Glad to do my hair.
Finally, baked goods Rohde hasn't pillaged you first.